I was just a kid when I realized that whole milk was disgusting. So then I started to request that my mom buy 2% milk. And then I still wasn't satisfied with that. And I was like, well, do I need to drink skim milk? And by the time it got down to skim milk, I was like, ew, no, I just don't want any milk. I learned about other alternatives and I was like, oh, wait, let me get that. So I started to try hemp. I started to try oat milk. I started to try rice milk. I tried almond milk. But it was something about the oat milk that I loved about it. It was like the versatility, like you can cook with it, you can do so many things with it. But, or I should say, so after that, I tried so many different brands of oat milk and I fell in love with one brand, Oatly. And then I said, you know what? Oatly is pretty good, right? But it left like this feeling on my tongue that I didn't like. I'm like, up, go back to doing it yourself. So I'm gonna show you guys how I make oat milk straight from scratch. Hello everybody, good afternoon. My name is Aquila Sky. And we're making oat milk from scratch. So I have a blender. You're gonna need some good water, drinking water. I have a mason jar because I make this in small batches. And you can use honey or brown sugar or no sugar at all to sweeten your oat milk. You're gonna need a little bit of salt, and vanilla is optional. So it's so easy. I'm sorry if after you watch this video you're like, dang, is that easy to make oat milk? Yeah, it is. I also really love fresh almond milk too. So that's another thing. All right, so I measure with my eyes. When I'm blending, I make the amount that I need for the batch. So for instance, if we break this cup into, let's just say 4 parts, right? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna need about 1 or 1.5 parts of oat milk. I mean of oats, of actual oats, and like the rest water. So that's how I like to do it. And going back to like the different types of cow milk, you can have your oat milk kind of act like whole milk. You could have it act like 2%. You could have it act like skim milk or fat-free milk, depending on how many oats you add. So for me, I like to have it thick. Not thick to where it's like soupy, because you can make it that thick. I don't want it that thick. Like almost like ice cream. But I do like my oat milk nice and silky. So you're gonna see what I mean in a second here. I want it silky, and I'm gonna have it with some cookies because it's only right. I have some brown butter cookies that I got from Whole Foods. If you know, you know. Those are so good. And now it's time to blend it up. So this is just oats and water. So I'm gonna turn that blender on. I'm gonna put it on high. And in the meanwhile, we're gonna dance. And let that go, and you can see. Hold on, I want you guys to see what it's doing. You can tell by how it looks sometimes how it's gonna turn out. And the recipe is very forgiving. If you make it and you realize that you're not in love with the consistency, all you have to do is just add either more water or more oats or both to get it to the consistency that you like. I used a mason jar full of water. And this mason jar it's more than 2 cups. I think it's 3 cups. 1 cup, 2 cups. Does it say the ounces on here? I'm trying to find out. Okay, let me check on it. Let's see what's going on. It smells so good. So you can see it's thick, it's bubbly, and I'm gonna try it out to see if I like the consistency. So we're gonna take a little cuppy cup and just drop some in the cup. The consistency, I would say, is like the consistency of 2%, almost like a 2% milk. I'd like it a little thicker, so I'm gonna add some more oats to it. I hope everybody's having a blessed day today. I've been having a very busy morning. I had a meeting with TikTok at 2 p.m. and it was a nice discussion. They kept it really short, so that was good. And then I got to get back to my day, and now I'm here making oat milk for you guys. Oh, I put it on smoothie by accident. Oops. Yeah, it smells really good. So I'm just gonna let that go. Sometimes I blend it twice to get a nice consistency, to get all of the oats kind of like mixed into the water really well. I do have, also this is going to be helpful if you have a sieve or a strainer and a cheesecloth so that you don't get any of the oats inside your oat milk. Some people like to have the oats in their oat milk, so it tastes a little bit like you can feel the texture and you have some oats in your drink. But personally, I like for mine to be nice and neat, so I don't want to taste any of the oats when I'm drinking it. I don't even want to see the oats when I'm drinking it, because it needs to be as close to milk as possible. So you don't have to double blend. I like to double blend. At least 1.5 blend. What is a TikTok? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and drop some salt in the mix. You can do this after, but I'm going to do it now, just so I don't have to mix it. I'm using my Celtic salt. Pretty nice. And I'll just add the vanilla while we're at it, while it's blending. Probably, oh, it looks so pretty. So, let me tell you. Oh, that was a lot of vanilla. Don't add too much vanilla. The second blend really does make a difference. It makes it even more potent. So it'll be even more white. Okay? Once you blend it the second time. Okay, I'm scared to try to strain it straight into the jar because the mouth of the jar isn't wide enough. So instead of doing that, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it through the strainer first. Okay? So when you strain it, if you use a sieve like this, expect to have some of the pulp inside of the drink. I don't know why I didn't get a spatula, but let me grab a spatula. This part is very important. Having a spatula will save you a lot of time because the oats will clog up the sieve and you'll be here waiting for years just to try to get the oats to kind of strain through. But when you stir it, it speeds up the process and it gets it out. And as you can see, you're left with all this pulp. I do not want that. Thank you. So I just press down on it and I smooth it out. And I find myself doing this with so many recipes, like when I'm making smoothies and when I'm blending up certain things and I have to strain it. find myself doing that a lot. Lemonade. When I make my lemonade from scratch, that happens. So I'm just dumping the extra oats. You know what you could do with this? If you don't want to waste it, you could do a lot with it. You could make a mask, a face mask. Oats are really good for acne. So if you have acne or oily skin, what I do a lot of the times, I just put that right on my face. And my skin loves it. I leave it on my skin until it dries, and then I wash it off. You know? Yes, you'll be waiting years. Okay? You will be waiting. Somebody has a singing question. You ever ran and sing as a breathing exercise? Absolutely. I do it all the time. All the time. So if you make this for your family, they're going to really love you. They're going to ask you for it all the time because this is something that's very special. You know, like I said, you could buy good quality oat milks from the store, but they're not going to be as special as when you make them yourself. Because you're going to make it just to your taste. You're going to make it good. There's not going to be any corn syrup in it. None of that other crap that they put inside our oat milk sometimes. Okay? You haven't had homemade lemonade in years. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. You gotta get you some homemade lemonade. It's just sugar, lemons, and water. 3 ingredients. Now that's the last little bit. Like I said though, this is not enough. Just passing it through the sieve. It's not gonna cut it if you want your oat milk to be clean. But if you want it rustic, you could drink it like this. Sure. You can add sugar or not, like I said. But the other morning I had espresso and I used the oat milk while it was thick like this because I didn't have a cheesecloth. And when I went to go froth it, it turned into like a custard. It was hilarious. But it was a good teaching lesson because it taught me that I can actually make some kind of custard with oat milk if I make it too thick. So you could experiment. You could have fun with it. There's no rules when it comes to making your lovely oat milk. Just take your time. Enjoy the process. Now I'm dumping out this extra oats. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to dump it out in the trash because I don't need to use the mask right now. Not needed. So bye-bye, oats. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your lovely help, for all that you do. And we're gonna keep moving on. We're gonna keep moving on. So we have this cheesecloth, like I said, and now it's time to get to straining. This is the fun part. Why is it so fun? Because we get to strain stuff. See, if you don't use the cheesecloth, all that will be inside your milk, and you'll go, what's that? My favorite brands of coffee. So my absolute favorite coffee ever, like number one, is Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Their coffee tastes so good. It's always better than any other coffee. I personally don't like sugar in my coffee. I like my coffee with oat milk, and every time I have their coffee, even just having it with oat milk is so good. But when I drink some other coffees with oat milk, it tastes burnt. It doesn't even taste as good. So I'm going with Dunkin' Donuts. Number two is going to have to be McDonald's coffee. Now, these are very fast food restaurant, drive-through restaurant brands, but their coffee is, to me, better than Starbucks coffee. It's better than, a lot of other brands. I'm not going to go down the list, but I'm not a I'm not big on coffee, but when I got my new espresso maker from the TikTok shop, which they gave it to me, it was for a brand deal. Um, I started drinking espresso, and I'm like, all right, well, let me have it how I like it. Even the coffee that I have here that I make at home is delicious, but I would rather use Dunkin' Donuts coffee beans to make my espresso. And I've been looking really hard to get me a bag of it, but I need the right roast, and it's hard to find. Maybe I gotta stop into Dunkin' Donuts and just say, hey, you got some dark roasted coffee beans? And they might have them. This sieve is going really well. You can see, oh my God. This is so special. I'm in love with the process of making my own, like, anything. Especially, like, when it comes to butter. I'm going to be making my own butter, so you guys stay tuned. We're going to be doing that. Um, what else should I make? I like I like making butter. Butter from scratch is everything. I got the ingredients. I'm so excited. Shout out to everybody watching. Where are you guys watching from? Yes, every drop. And it's coming out, and it's the right consistency. I think the rest of that is just pulp. Yeah, it's pulp. All that pulp. All that is pulp. And we didn't see it too much inside the jar. But that is pulp. Consistency check. What's the consistency like? We're about to see right now. So let's pour it. Now that right there would be the consistency of either whole milk or heavy whipping cream. We're about to see. We're about to see for ourselves what the consistency of this is. Look at that. And we're not even done yet. So don't go anywhere. That's definitely whole milk consistency. So play around with the ratios. You know, you don't have to. Technically, I use like 2 cups to I use basically half and half ratio. So half water, half oats, right? Because when I added more oats after, that was like 2 cups. That's just with vanilla and salt. Now, when we add the brown sugar, it's gonna bless it even more. I don't even want to add it because it's so good without it. But I'm gonna add it because that's what I came to do. But it's phenomenal. If you like to drink raw milk, you'll love this. It's much healthier too. I don't do raw milk. I don't. I consider milk like real milk, not real, but cow's milk. I consider it to be more of an ingredient than a drink. Like, and I don't buy it, I don't purchase it, so, because I have too many superior substitutes like this. So ain't no use in buying it. Just saying. You can make anything with this. You can bake your cakes with this. You can eat your cereal in the morning. You can pour it over your oatmeal. You could cook with it. You can do any and everything that you would do with cow's milk with this right here. I don't know if you can make butter though. Try it. Try it and see. You want to start your own coffee brand? That sounds nice. Yeah. Ice cubes would be perfect with this. This is going straight in the fridge though. Y'all want me to try it with ice cubes? Put a smiley face. Drop a smiley face in the comments if you want me to try it with ice cubes. This is... And you know what? Even though I added the salt, I can't taste the salt. You know, I added the vanilla, but I can't taste one singular ingredient. Everything is congealed and blended so nicely. But we are gonna have this with a cookie because it's only right. It's only right to do this with a brown butter cookie. It looks like you guys want me to try this with ice. Keep dropping your smiley faces so I know that it's real. All right. I gotta get a clear glass for you guys because you guys gotta see. You guys gotta see this for real. It's way too good. Uh, Such a simple recipe. The cheesecloths. Now let me grab my other cheesecloth. I got a pack of 8 of these from Amazon for a few dollars, maybe like $11, $12. These are seriously good. I got the oat still sitting in here, like all the oat pulp still sitting in the cheesecloth. Like what? All I gotta do now is rinse it off, wash it out, and then reuse it. We're about to like really be making some serious homemade stuff here. Okay? All right. Let's get some ice cubes and get a cookie. Let's get a cookie. Let me see your cookie emojis in the comments, guys. Drop your cookie emojis. All right? So I'm currently over here. I'm just grabbing some ice, as you can hear. And hello. And we're gonna pour. Yes, cookie time. We're gonna pour. I said I was gonna get a clear glass, right? I lied. Hold on. I lied. Let me get my clear glass. Hold on. I just found the littlest, cutest clear glass over here. I have so many different types of mason jars. So many different sizes. Okay. So we have this cute little mason jar. And let's put some little ice in it. Now, just for reference of size, because obviously you guys are not here. But this is a tiny mason jar, and this is, this one is 8 ounces. Okay, so let's do it. That's a latte. That's an oat milk, no coffee latte. It's the cookie made by me. I got these cookies from Whole Foods. I often make these types of cookies, like brown butter, chocolate chip. They're really good, but I make them with chocolate chunks. And actually, they use chocolate chunks too. That's funny. So yeah, I love brown butter cookies. Like, I'm not crazy about regular chocolate chip cookies, even though they could be really delicious. But it's something about the brown butter ones that just feed my soul. I guess it's because, like, I have an uncle who's a chef, and he used to bring them home after work all the time. And I'd be like, these are so good. And he'd be like, yeah, I made them. And I'd be like, can you please always bring those home all the time? So every time I saw my uncle, I'd be like, where's the cookies? Oh, they were perfect. So when I grew up, I learned how to make them myself. And of course, me being a Whole Foods girl, sometimes I see them there and I'm like, oh, let me try it. I tried it, fell in love. I was like, oh, that, okay. Oatmeal and raisin is good. I just don't like raisins, but I still eat them. Cheers. Ain't nothing like it. It's different with the ice. I have a nugget ice maker machine, and like, so all these little itty bitty ice cubes. Oh, why is my hand shaking? I'm trying not to drop them. Okay. Yeah, all the little itty bitty ice cubes. It's like, huh? Eat your milk and cookies. Nice and cold. Now you can also warm this up. and have it just straight warm. So now you have it. Oat milk from scratch. You don't need a whole lot. All you need is some oats. I use quick oats. Okay. Celtic salt. You can use whatever salt, sea salt, whatever. I prefer Celtic. Brown sugar or honey or maple or no sweetener at all. All these ingredients are optional. All you really, really need is really just the oats and the water. But this is the flavoring, you know? Vanilla. Okay. Use a vanilla bean. Why not? Did I miss anything? Drinking water. You're going to want a sieve, which mine is a mess right now. You're going to want cheesecloth. All you need is one. Okay? And you're going to want a blender on high. The honey would be really good. Last time I made it with honey. It was delicious. So that's how we do it. I haven't bought vanilla paste at all this year. I ran out and just kept buying vanilla. That's the one. That's it. All right. Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about this recipe, how to do it, if there was anything I didn't explain to you, just drop a comment. I'm glad to answer your questions. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Have a beautiful day. Enjoy. Be safe.